Welcome everyone to round 6 of the Dutch Speed Racing League Tier 1 Championship, coming to you from the iconic circuit in Zandvoort, the home of Dutch motorsports and one of the most exhilarating tracks on the calendar. Nestled in the dunes of the North Sea coast, Zandvoort is a narrow, undulating rollercoaster of a circuit filled with high-speed sweeps, blind crests, and steeply banked corners that push drivers to the absolute limit. Yannick has joined the back of the session, so he gets back. He was knocked out of Q2, I believe it was, and unfortunately, no, it's not. He's in P2. Sorry, so both Ferraris in Q3. I thought he got knocked out, but he didn't. But this layout features 14 corners over 4.2 kilometers, with famous turns like Tarzan in turn 1, inviting lunges on the brakes. Very comfortable indeed. And also turn 14 in the banked off in a slingshot onto the main straight with DRS powered overtake assistance, but made no mistakes because this was the toughest circuits to pass on. Of course, 2 DRS zones made qualifying absolutely crucial here, and it will be definitely crucial here in qualifying because it is wet and rainy here in Zandvoort. Most likely the weather in the Netherlands itself being very wet, and UK too for good measure, as there's similar weather levels. But we're headed to this round and in 6. It is pitching to start taking shape now as Ferrari, who stand tall above the rest. Aaron leads the way on 68 points, closely followed by Kick and the Williams on 65, just 3 points adrift. Behind them, Yannick, also representing Ferrari, sits in third with 51 points, keeping the Ferrari tight at the top of both drivers and constructors' championship standings. Speaking of which, in the constructors' battle, Ferrari agreed to assert dominance with 190 points ahead of Williams on 95, while Mercedes hold third on 41. Sauber close behind the 38, looking to build momentum after some solid results recently. But what's the race we had last time at Silverstone? It was another Ferrari masterclass, with Aaron taking the victory ahead of Kick in second and Yannick ran out the third with third place. A 1-3 finish that underlined Ferrari's incredible form this season. Behind them, the midfield is close as ever, with plenty of wheel-to-wheel drama and late battles that kept us right to the end of the checker flag. But we're headed in towards the qualifying session where it is wet again, and Yannick has left the session, so that's not good news, especially in his bid to take pole position. My mic isn't even plugged in. Mic wasn't even plugged in. It was the microphone mic, so hopefully the quality is better. And apologies if you heard the cars in the background. So let me repeat that introduction. In fact, let's not repeat it at all. But I really hope you heard that. I was embarrassed because I was wondering why I couldn't hear the cars properly. Then all of a sudden I realised my mic wasn't plugged in. So you were hearing me off the controller microphone and not the headset itself. So it looks like everything's sorted. We're off to a slow start here in qualifying, but we remain underway. So the Haas is about to first one to cross the line. It is Octavia in the Haas who goes quickest, replaced by Florian in first place now with a 20.2. I'm on board with Kays in the Sauber. And let's see what the Kick Sauber could do as it races his way now towards the final 2 corners. I had a race around yesterday and it went horrendously. No rain, dry weather, but Aaron goes quickest with a 19.1. Aaron has been super consistent so far in this qualifier session, just dominating the top 3 qualifier sessions, and he remains to be unbeaten as Fireblaze goes P2 in the Mercedes. Fireblaze had a race around here yesterday, so he knows what it's like. Well, not in these conditions anyway, but he knows what it's like to race around here in Zandvoort. Second best again in the other session yesterday. Second best again here in the qualifier session, but only a few hundred separated both Fireblaze and Florian in P2 and P3. Daniel in P4 in the Alpine. We're on board with him right now as he swoops through towards turn number 3. The most famous corner now between Kimi Antonelli and Charles Leclerc. We've seen a few crashes there in turn 3 before. Oscar Piastri and Daniel Ricciardo. Carlos Sainz had a massive crash, I think, back in 2021. Lewis Hamilton, of course, had his crash there earlier this year too, with Charles Leclerc, as I mentioned before as well. So people have become a cropper down there, and I'm pretty sure there's loads of people that's had a issue down in towards turn 4, but memory serves, I can't remember every single one of them. Thank you, Brendan. I just saw your comment. I love your voice, man. Please stay here with your commentating. Oh, that's so cute, Brendan. Thank you very much, mate. But Yannick then, who has suffered with internet problems, hopefully can set a lap time here because he's missed
the crucial part of qualifying. He's got plenty of lap time still, got plenty of time to set some laps. But of course, you want to be out there as much as you can with the intermediate compound tyres, because you can do multiple runs on the inters because the tread doesn't heat up too quickly like soft compound tyre does, because the surface, it's got something to do with the surface area being a bit larger, hence why the soft compound tyres overheat quite a lot when you're on them as well. But tyre temperature is an issue as well, because the right front tyre is very cold, because you don't take a lot of punishment in the high-speed corners on the right front tyre. You do on the left front tyre, sorry. But the right front tyre has a little bit of an issue with heated up issues. So looks like drivers have got to mitigate the circumstances as Yannick slides in towards turn 3. He goes back on the power once again. The car sliding underneath him as he applies the throttle, going all the way up to the hill at turn 7. His first sector is going to be a 27.5, but don't let them deceive you, because the sector times I don't think are accurate. I think he's his best. I think the purple represents his best lap time as well, because it used to be a thing where it actually meant he's got the fastest sector, but they still hasn't fixed that issue. Maybe he has, we just don't know. But here we go through turn 10 in the left-hander. It can be very difficult as well. Just be very patient on the throttle before we head down in towards the chicane. Turn 11 to turn 12 can be a bit difficult because you arrive at a high speed and the gravel's inviting you in for company, and you don't want to get stuck in the gravel traps easy. It is so easy to skate over the gravels as we head down in towards 13 and 14, the final couple of corners. It seems like a decent lot of time. He's been pushing the limits of the Ferrari, but what's his reward? Can he make it a Ferrari 1-2? He's about to make his way towards the line now, and he can. It's a 19.4, and there's 3/10 between the Ferrari and his teammates. So Ferrari dominating the Constructor Championship up into first place, and currently have a 1-2 so far, which is very good news indeed. Kick is 1.3 seconds down. Mels Marcus in P6 in the Williams coming through turn 10. Let's see what Mels can do. I haven't seen much of this driver. I know he's participated elsewhere, but so far running a respectable job in P6. So let's see, can he continue his form? And now 2.3 seconds down, so he's not on a flying representative lap time as we go on board with Octavia. Now, Octavia is an interesting one because he can have a few iffy qualifyings, a few skeptical moments there, and a few problems now and then. He's a driver I seen do well, but at the same time, his progress as well hasn't been quite promising either, it must be said. He is a driver that can have a few shock surprises, and go through turn 8 there. He collapses the curb on the inside, and that's something you don't want to be doing as well. You want to avoid the curb in turn 8 and be very mindful of it as we head through turn 10. K's has left the session, unfortunately, so hopefully he can get himself back in. The Kickstarter has been doing very well so far, but his teammate's not here. Octavia's 1 second up. This could put him up into, well, P8 at the maximum, depending if he can find more lap time in the final sector, which is about 4 more corners, which is quite difficult indeed, because you've got the low speed chicane, you've got the high speed bounce corner in towards the final 2 corners. DRS on that bank, and of course the dry, but not in the wet conditions. Florian goes P3 in the Aston Martin. What can Octavia do? So Octavia goes up into P8 there in the Haas then, as Florian in the Aston Martin goes up into P3. There is 3 minutes left in this qualifying session so far. It is the Ferrari buyers occupying first and second place, and looks like they're doing well so far, up there in first, second, and well, first and second obviously. But the winner of the British GP last time, it was Aaron. Yannick finished in P3 and Kick finished in P2. The Ferrari have been absolutely blistering so far this season. Yannick, I think all the races this season they finished on the podium, and each one of them at least a Ferrari, if it's Yannick or Aaron. So those two have been looking very good so far. Fairplays up into P3 in the Mercedes, so it looks like he's settling into these conditions now, getting the groove, getting the feel, and getting the track conditions as well to his liking now. Up into P3. It does take a little bit of time for Fairplays to warm up, but at least he's got up into P3. Majority of drivers in the pit lane, which is quite surprising because you usually see multiple runs on these intermediate compound tyres, but surprisingly, nobody really out there tackling these conditions. It's quiet right now, but hopefully we see some more hurdler cars get out of the pit lane very soon and complete their final flying runs. I think some of them might only have 1 flying run, which is surprising. doing 2, 3, 4 laps on a set of intermediates is more beneficial for you as the conditions get better, the tyre is more matching the surface temperatures, and also getting more grip, more rubber. I think I'm in a game chat here because I think somebody is annoyed that I'm talking. So, yeah, I think it was Ruben who's in the game chat. I just heard him and he was complaining, even though he's not racing right now. He's not at Q1 or Q2. So, I think Ruben heard me and he's not happy. Yeah, apologies about that, Ruben. But I forgot to put myself in a party. Mark goes up into P5 in the Aston Martin. So, both Aston Martins doing a respectable job so far in this qualifying session. And let's see if anybody can dethrone the Ferrari boys in first and second place. Those two have been looking very good so far this season. And Aaron is leading the championship. It could be an inter-team battle at Ferraris. And talk about Ferrari, I think one of them slowed the final corner, just preparing for his final flying tour. And it was a bit of a messy start, wasn't it? As we see him aquaplane in towards 13, out of 14, on towards the main straight. Let's see this lap time unfold for Unique as he dives off in towards Tarzan. The first corner in towards second gear. Just be very patient with the throttle. Treat it like it's... Oh, Florian! Wow! That surprised me, and it's a shame that I didn't see him on the flying lap. But it goes pole with a 19.073, so it looks like there is competition out there. And I think the Aston Martin boy can stop him. Can he stop the Ferrari pair? Take a ball away, but look at that. Unique in the first set already. 3 tenths up. This is a flying lap. But it's all about keeping it all together now because there's still the second and the last set with high speed combination of corners, mid speed and the chicane, which is oncoming as we now head towards turn 10. This left-hander just want to open it up, feed the car in, feather the throttle, and get back in it as soon as you can. Massive wheel spin, the car complaining and wandering away from him as he now makes his way down towards the chicane. He goes, it's 6 tenths up, and this will definitely take it back towards the top step of the podium. Or should I say first place? The Haas has got off in towards turn number 8, I believe it is. And Fireblaze goes P3, separates both Ferraris. But the Ferrari boy is about to change it because he's about to take pole. If he can keep it nice and tidy, here he comes towards the final corner. It is Unique. Cross the line right now. And it is pole with an 18.6. What a blistering lap time. But it's not done just yet because there is one more person. There's a few more people on their flying lap. One of them is the Ferrari. And Florian goes P2 in the Aston Martin. Couldn't beat the Ferrari Unique. But here comes Aaron. Can he take the crown away from his teammate? Daniel goes P5 in the Alpine. Watching the Ferrari at the final corner. Can he take pole away as he crosses the line right now? And he can with an 18.3. He's 3 tenths quicker than his teammate in second place there. And I think that could conclude qualifying. I don't think nobody is going to take pole away from Ferrari as Mark goes up into P7, or stays P7, should I say, but he did improve on his lap time. Kit goes P6, and Octavia had a moment in towards turn 8, and that is the end of qualifying here at the Dutch GP. It is the Ferrari boy of Aaron on pole, ahead of Unique in P2, and it was a thriller of a qualifying session. It was dry to begin with, but then got wetter and wetter as the qualifying session went on here. It is the German on pole of Aaron in first place ahead of Unique. The Dutchmans were looking to seek revenge and redemption and try and get the win at the home Grand Prix. Florian in P3, the Aston Martin ahead of Fireblaze in 4th place. Daniel, the Irishman, in 5th ahead of Kick. Mark in P7, Mel's Mackis in P8, and Octavia and Kays round off the top 10 here in qualifying. Starts off dry, but immediately Q2 it started raining, and therefore it was very important, very pivotal to get those lap times on the board. My apologies, Aaron is Dutch, but look at this. It's nice and sunny for once. Do you know what? I've been commentating for the past 2 days now here in Zandvoort. I did one last week in reverse, and I also did one in Lelystad, and now I'm doing one today. So I just can't seem to get away from this track or this country. But after this race, hopefully I can get away from it because I've had enough commentating for Zandvoort and in the Netherlands. I love it, but it's too much. Most of you know I was in the Netherlands last week Beautiful country, nice people, nice food. Very tall people indeed. But yeah, I enjoyed my time in the Netherlands. Of course, I wasn't there just for a holiday. I was there to commentate, and what an event it was. 24 hours of Lelystad. Long qualified, and a 50% race is nothing for me right now. I can go 24 hours if I want to. So yeah, this is nothing to me. We're missing one more driver, but I think the formation lap is on. Yes, it is, because some leagues don't have it, some leagues do. So I don't want to get caught out surprised if it does or doesn't have it. But let's see the tyre allocations. The top two have gone hard, whilst the rest are medium compound tyres. A few integrated on the hard compound tyres. They're Daniel, K's, Upshift, Chamaro in P15, and TVH&L has already been disqualified. Do you know what? I'm sick of seeing my name down there. Let me get myself in the party. Well, I put myself in a PlayStation party so nobody in the game chat can hear me, or I can't hear anybody in the game chat because there's a few people in the game chat and I heard them, and it did distract me a little bit. But it's the Ferraris and the hard compound tyres. They go for that longer strategy on the first stint. Let's see if it pays dividends for them. The Holster mediums is more, I think, a little bit preferable, but we'll see how the strategy evolves throughout this 36-lap race. Aaron won the first race back at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Then it was Saint who won in the second one at the Austrian Grand Prix. Then Yannick finished in P2, Misha finished in P3, but Misha isn't here tonight, unfortunately. Mel's Makis finished in P4 for his highest results. Then at the Spanish Grand Prix, it was Kik who won ahead of Aaron, and Fireblaze finished in P3. Then at the British GP, it was Aaron, Kik. What am I watching? The crowd? We zoomed in on the crowd for some reason. Oh, both Ferraris been disqualified. That's going to be interesting, and that's going to be a compromiser going towards the race because the tyres can be very cold, especially the right front tyre is going to be super cold indeed. So watch out for that. They could be struggling in the early phases of this race, but they're going to recover the tyre temperature now. Can anybody from the second row below gain positions? We're about to find out. Maybe because on the hard compound tyres too, it's going to be even more difficult and more tricky. So let's find out. It could be a hectic start going down towards turn one. People understeering, people losing and lacking grip. But here we go. The light's about to go away very soon here at Lelystad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we're underway here at the Dutch GP. Yannick doesn't get a good start. He might get swamped to the start. Here comes the Aston Martin around him in towards turn one. He goes side by side. There's contact between those two going in towards turn one. As Florian has the outside line. Better grip, better momentum as we swoop through turn two and turn three. Florian splits the Ferrari boys as here comes Fireblaze all the way around the outside, but couldn't make it stick, and therefore stays in P4 for the time being. Looks like Ruben has spun down there in 18th place at the exit of turn 4, and Samarai is right behind him too for good measure. So it looks like the Haas and also the McLaren driver has become a cropper, but Aaron still leads this Grand Prix, but the Aston Martin is right behind him as well, maybe suffering a lack of tyre temperature and grip. Oh, in the background a few people out of shape there as well. It looked like the Haas of Octavia was out of shape there as well, and he got swamped by Kik, and he's down into P8 there. Not a good start for Kik either. He's in P7, a man that had a podium back at the British GP, finished in P2. As we now fast with the chicane, we go to conclude the first lap. It is Aaron who leads this Grand Prix ahead of Florian in P2. Yannick in P3. Yannick lost one place, but you know what? The top three haven't done a bad job considering they were disqualified on the formation lap. And even with the lack of tyre temperature, they still lead the Grand Prix. Here comes the Aston Martin in towards turn one, but Aaron is late to the brakes there. Doesn't allow Florian to get past him, and he block passes him too. Doesn't allow him to switch back either, as he placed the car beautifully in the middle of the road there, and doesn't allow him to overtake. I can't find it, but there we go. In the background, here comes Mark and Hitwar, sorry, side by side. But look at Florian right behind. Here he is then, and I thought for 1 second to make a move, but stays behind for the time being. The two kick salvos there on opposing strategies. Kays is on the hard compound tyre and good passing towards his teammate Hitman. Why do I keep saying Hitman? Hitwall, there we go. on the medium compound tyres. But Cades is struggling to stay with the DRS range up the inside there. That's an aggressive overtake, and that's kick in towards turn 10. Pulling the move as we got a change in leadership then between the Aston Martin and the Ferrari driver. You expected that to come, but Aaron hits the back of him going in towards the cage, just carried towards speed there as well and used him as a breaker. But you expected that Florian to get past him because, Aaron almost got stuck on the curb there. It is so easy to get skated off the track there as well. And look at that, under massive pressure is he already from his teammate. But I think Aaron stays ahead for the time. And here comes Fireplace then in towards turn 1, almost out of shape there. Almost doing a pass to Maldonado going in towards turn 1 at the Austrian Grand Prix 2015. But luckily stays on the track there. Could have easily spun around as you lose downforce with the DRS wide open, obviously. The car becomes light at the back of the car and easy to spin out, of course. That's why we almost saw Pastor Maldonado do it. We saw Adrian Suter do it, didn't we? Back in 2011 when he spun around at the exit of the first last corner. Look at this. That's an aggressive move from Panda. Panda! And hit wall goes into a spin. And he'll be devastated with that. He'll be absolutely frustrated because he was barely given any space on the exit there. And it's such a tight corner as well. Easy to place a tyre on the grass. As we see Yannick out of shape towards turn 10. And now Fireblaze is immediately putting the pressure going towards the chicane here as we fire through. Looks like both Ferraris are just struggling on the hard compound tyre, just waiting because the tyres are in the right condition so far in this race. Of course, the mediums have the advantage with a better tyre warm-up too, with a better temperature. And here we go. You can see the Aston Martin breaking the slipstream as here comes the Ferrari of Aaron. Wanted to take the lead of the Grand Prix again as we head down towards turn 1. Aaron swoops around the outside there. Does he have the grip? He does, as he takes the racing line and he takes away P1 once again ahead of Florian. I bet Florian was wanting to break the DRS immediately as soon as he overtook Aaron there, but unfortunately he couldn't because it's just so difficult, no matter what tyre compound you're on. Hard to beat him to the start of the Grand Prix. It's so difficult to break away from somebody's DRS. And as you can see there, Florian being sucked into the slipstream of Aaron there. Be very careful as well not to the back of him because, of course, with the overspeed, with the slipstream, with the battery as well, you can easily just tap the back of somebody and cause them to spin. As talk about spinning, Panda has unfortunately spun, and what goes around comes around. Now I'm joking, I'm only joking, Panda. But yeah, him and Hitwall had a problem going in towards turn 7 there, caused Hitwall to spin. And I'm pretty sure Hitwall is 2 cars behind, and there he is in P17, and he sees the man in front of him who's spun him around. Watch, I say half spun the car around, and they'll be looking to take revenge and action. Like Max Verstappen said, it's noted. And it probably been noted. Here comes the leader of the Grand Prix again. That is Florian retaking first place away from the Ferraris. We head down towards turn 1. There's no way Aaron's thinking about sticking on the outside there. He is on the outside of turn 1, is it? Let's go through turn 2 and turn 3. Wheel to wheel as Aaron takes the lead in towards turn 2 and turn 3. But he goes a bit deep. And here comes Yannick then, looking to make a move on the Aston Martin. But this is really good stuff indeed. This is what we love to see. Elbows out, side by side, good racing. No way around the outside there. Surely not. There's enough space given as we continue to fight in towards turn number 7 and 8. That's very risky, very audacious. But it could be so easily in the contact because Aaron could have gone a little bit left and therefore Florian be stuck on the curb. And luckily Aaron's got good spatial awareness and acknowledged that the Aston Martin is there, puts him under so much pressure indeed, is the Aston Martin. Watch out though, because Yannick is right there too, and if he gets stuck behind both Ferraris, it could be game over, as the 2 Ferraris will be working in harmony together to keep the rest of them behind. But here we go, with the DRS wide open once again. We're kicking the background, looking interested there as well. On the back of his own teammate Mel's Macus, there we go, as Florian then breezes past the Ferrari in towards turn 1. Is this the same move as he did the last time? Nope, he's gone a bit too wide this time and not able to make the move he did a lap ago around the outside. As the 2 Williams go side by side there in towards turn 2 and turn 3. Very risky place indeed, very easy to just drop it on the exit and crash there in the wall. But the Williams stays ahead of his own teammates for the time being then. As Aaron looking to put the pressure on once again, almost doing the same move as Florian did around the outside, but luckily backs out of it. But this is just an intense race. I think nobody is thinking about the long game strategy to all go for every single opportunity in this race, and tyre wear is a massive factor as well in this race. Let's not forget the tyre wear too, because it takes a lot of punishment. The left front tyre takes a beating around this track. Always putting energy, always putting force. And I acknowledged that too yesterday when the left front tyre gave up on me and I literally had no grip. Somebody just dipped a wheel in the grass there too, which is quite interesting. Quite a bizarre place to do that indeed, especially midway between turn 13 and 14, turn 12 and 13. But here we go once again on the straight. Here comes Aaron down the inside. It takes me first place. Down the inside goes the other Ferrari in towards turn 1, but Florian has the outside line. The outside line is much better. We saw this with Isaac Hadjar and Charles Leclerc. Isaac Hadjar defended beautifully against Leclerc and Russell, even though Russell had damage against Leclerc in towards the chicane on the VSC restart. But it seems that the outside line is the better way to go, unless you can try and fully sell up the inside and cause your rivals go out wide. But it's such good racing indeed, and this is exactly what we want to see here in league racing. Hard, but fair and respectful. But how long is that going to keep going for before some drivers might get impatient? Look at the grip as well. Look at the drive he had out of turn 9 in towards turn 10. Despite being in the dirty air, despite the imbalance of the car, he's still able to carry the speed all the way through behind the turbulent wake of the Aston Martin. And in the background, the Red Bull has spun. This has been such a fun race to commentate, and I'm all for it. But how hectic, how dramatic will it be? Will there be any contact between any of these guys as we go on the straight once again to round off lap 7 in towards 8? Here comes the Aston Martin again in towards turn 1. But the Ferrari a bit late to the brakes there and has the outside line and stays in the lead of the Grand Prix. Like I said, the outside line is the better way to go, of course. As we head down towards turn 2 and turn 3, this can be another place to overtake. I've seen a few good moves going towards turn 2 and turn 3 in the past, but it depends what happens in front of you, because sometimes your rival can make a big mistake and therefore do the switchback, get the under and over, and get the overtake complete. But Red Bull is out of the race. And that's a DNF there. Unfortunately, there's 2 DNFs in this Grand Prix. Upshift and Red Bull in 18th place there. We almost had a full lobby here at the Dutch GP. But one person is missing, and it is a McLaren driver. I think it's Jens who is missing. But still, it's been an excellent race so far. Look at that. The top 10 are still in the DRS of each other. The guys behind are struggling to overtake as well. That's the problem with the DRS, massive DRS trees, and the guys behind just struggle because the guys ahead carry the same speed down the straight. So there's literally no way to overtake unless you surprise your rival, abuse the battery, and try and get past that way. As we get down in towards turn 1, here comes, it's little contact in towards turn 1, and let's see, he puts him off balance, puts him off line. As we swoop through turn 2 and turn 3, that could have been disastrous there for Florian, because imagine if he lost the DRS. He could lose DRS on the back of Aaron. Aaron could pull away, and this could be the breaking point now in this Grand Prix, but the turning point. No, it's not. Look at this, Fireblades right to the back there. He's pushing him through the corner, giving him extra speed, telling him to get a hurry on. But yeah, Fireblades there could have easily just wiped out Yannick going in towards turn 7, but luckily he didn't. The 2 Williams, Makis is running a good race too in P6. Like I said, I haven't really seen much of him in league racing at all, but he's doing a very good job keeping up with the guys behind. In front, shall I say, obviously. All these guys getting their elbows out, being very aggressive, but look at this. Looks like Florian is losing his touch with Aaron there. Aaron could be breaking away from DRS anytime soon, and that contact as well going in towards turn number 3 could have an effect on it too. But he's able to stay with the DRS regime. He doesn't have DRS. He does not have the DRS, and he was using a lot of battery as well to get himself closer towards Aaron. So that could really hurt him as well, having less battery down the straight and be vulnerable to the guy behind. Once you put the DRS range, you try and do absolutely everything you can. It looks like he's starting to struggle in general now, because the grip on the mini compound tyres, they seem to be fading away from him, but he's still carrying some good pace. Pushing to the absolute limit there is the Aston Martin. You might be a bit frustrated with the contact going towards turn 3. You can see him there really pushing, the car just sliding. The mini compound tyres at this stage could be cut. No rear grip at all, being the dirtier. He is in DRS range though, in this middle sector, which can claw a few tenths, and those crucial tenths to stay within DRS range on the main straight. 26 laps left to go in the Grand Prix. There is still plenty of laps in this race, but the hardcore part time runner of Aaron is leading, and luckily Florian does have oh no, he makes a mistake in the banking. Tries to get the power, and he goes in the wall too for good measure, and here comes Yannick. He goes up into P2. That's a big mistake there from Florian. I think he got stuck maybe on the curb or just lost traction. The banking is a tricky place, it must be said, and plus you open the DRS on the banking, which means that any steering input, any loss of traction, any loss of grip, it's just so easy to put it in the wall. Remember that banking as well at the USA Indianapolis race as well, where we saw a few tyre blowouts, we saw a few people having crashes there. Ralf Schumacher, I think, back in 2000 and, let me think. 5? Was it 5 or 3? I can't remember what it was, but I remember that massive crash with Ralf Schumacher there. Fernando Alonso had a crash there too before. At the bank corner, though, very, very steep indeed. I know it doesn't look like it on the game, but if you've been to Zandvoort, then you know. I think most of these guys have been to Zandvoort considering they're Dutch. If you're not Dutch, I mean, if you are Dutch and haven't been to Zandvoort, what are you doing? To be fair, though, I am English, as you probably all know, and I haven't been to Silverstone for, what, 9 years? And that's because it's just stupid expensive. And here comes Yannick up into first place, so Yannick takes the lead away from his teammate. And they're all brought back into the DRS range of each other too. But you can see the mini compound tyres are starting to struggle at this phase, so maybe the Ferrari boys now in first and second, they will have control, and they can leapfrog and pull away from the guys behind. Looks like the trajectory of this race is going their way so far for the Ferrari drivers. Started the hard compound tyres as works for them at this stage in this race. But when it comes to roles reversed, as Samurai gets a 3-second penalty for multiple wars. We haven't really talked about these drivers behind, but of course, all these guys in a big battle amongst themselves. So let's give these guys a bit of screen time. Oh, look at this. Look who's together. Panda and Hitwall. They're both together on the circuit. And remember what happened last time those two came together? One of them got pushed off the track. So maybe the favour might be returned. And Hitwall sees his nemesis right in front of him. And will he take advantage of him going in towards the first corner if he's close enough, of course. But his teammate Kays is up into P10. He's got a big gap behind too of 3.4 seconds. Jamero in P11 there. In the Racing Bull, as both Ferrari swap places. Can't believe I missed that. But if you know me, I'm a neutral commentator. I like to give everybody some screen time if I can. As we see that one of the Haas drivers have pitted. Is that a mistake there from the Ferrari? I just saw Yannick make a mistake in towards turn 3. That could have a massive cost effect as well. But he's still 5 tenths behind. Nice camera shot going towards the hill, in towards turn 7 in sky flop. I can't really say it properly, unless I have a Dutchman here. Milan can say it properly, of course, he's Dutch, but me, as an Englishman, it is quite hard to pronounce things. And somebody has become a proper in towards turn 3. It is Dion Stan. Oh no, it isn't. It's TVHNL facing the wrong way. Oh no! Oh, Godverdomme. He has been disqualified from this race, and what a shame. That is such a sad way to go out this race. Oh dear me, poor TVHNL. He is out of the Dutch GP after facing the wrong way. The game gives you no chance really. But I wonder, when do these guys start to think about pit stops soon? Because they're losing time. They've dropped out of the DRS range of the guys ahead. And the Ferrari duo are starting to pull away. So maybe a pit stop is in the minds of the mini-car part-timers. But don't want to go too early as well. It's all about maintaining and managing in the first stint, of course. But of course, we've seen a lot of ding-dong battles. Maybe Florian's taking too much on his tyres. He's taken a lot of life out of those tyres in the first stint by fighting with the Ferrari boys. But now he's in the clutches of Fireblaze, Kick, Miles Mackers, Daniel, Kays. Well, Kays is 1.6 seconds away, so he won't be fighting anybody for the time being. In fact, Mark has caught up. So what's happened to Kays? Has he just lost a bit of momentum there? Did he make a mistake somewhere in the last lap? He was in the DRS range because he was in that DRS train like I talked about. But something must have happened to him. Is that McLaren in a way as well? That's the McLaren of Ruben, who's given DRS, I think, towards the Aston Martin. But I don't think Aston Martin had it on that short straight. You know what though? Florian will get DRS on the back of McLaren going towards turn 1, so he's been absolutely blessed and probably saved by an overtake from Fireblaze. So Fireblaze will be frustrated with that Aston Martin, but never mind. He's in the pit lane to make his first stop. Lap 15 out of 36, but the pit stops will start to happen now with the medium tyre runners. The tyres are starting to degrade, starting to give up, starting to complain, and they're in the pit lane then on lap 15. It's around about the time you want to pit, of course, avoiding punches towards the end of this race. On your first stint, you want to take the mediums or the softs. If you're crazy to start the soft compound tyres, you want to take those tyres a very long way as well, and the hard compound tyres too, obviously, go for that long stint. But what I mean is the medium compound tyre is such a delicate tyre, and any sort of grain, any sort of wear will have a massive impact on your driving performance. So you want to take the tyres a long way in the race to minimise the wear at the end of the Grand Prix and make it better for you as well. So let's see where he joins. He rejoined in P10. That's not a bad place to, because he hasn't got much traffic in front of him. Hit wall is about 3 seconds ahead, and he's got 3 seconds in between himself and Samurai. So this is where the undercuts will start to happen, but you don't expect these two to pit anytime soon. There is no way. Oh, look at that. Aaron's got DRS the back of the McLaren driver, so he's been gifted the benefits from that, and his teammate needs to stay on the back of him. Ferrari dominates at its best here at Zandvoort. You love to see it, but unfortunately in F1 it's not happening. It is so frustrating as Fireblaze are kicking the pit lane then to get rid of those blue compound tyres. And let's see, where will Florian rejoin? He should rejoin ahead of him, but let's see if he does or not as he makes his way out of the pit lane going in towards turn number 1. It's going to be close, between those guys. You know what? Fireblaze has jumped him. Or has he? Let's have a look right now. He's side by side on the pit lane. But no, Fireblaze gets ahead. Now, this could be a problem with tyre warm-up. The right front tyre takes a little bit of time to warm up. So that's probably why Fireblaze jumped him in the pit lane and rejoins ahead of him. That's going to be so frustrating if your name is Florian. And they're both stuck behind a Kickstarter too. Kick is going to get on the back of these two as well with his hard compound tyres, but they need to make their way through quickly without any sort of contact. How much of a blockage, obstruction is this Kickstarter going to be? Look at that, chop across the front wing there between the Kickstarter and Fireblaze. Fireblaze, we're looking to get past anytime soon. And here he is side by side with Kays as we head down towards the chicane we go. Keep it nice and clean, the chicane. Don't want to make contact, especially when somebody's a different race in comparison towards you. And I know that the Florian will be desperate to get past 2 as we head down towards the final corner. Look at the blockage, look at that. He's an obstacle in the way. But finally, the Aston Martin gets through as Kays gets out of the way and he pits as well to ensure that he doesn't get mixed up in these battles. I keep thinking that Mel's is Lucas, but he's not, because I'm so used to seeing Kick in a Williams all the time. I've never seen Kick in a different team. And I keep thinking that Lucas is behind him, because him and Lucas are really good friends. But it's not Lucas, it's Mel's Makis. I think he's the owner of this league, I'm not quite sure, as Ruben has retired from this race, unfortunately, so he's out of the Grand Prix. We're almost halfway in towards this race. Things have settled down for the time being, though, but don't expect to be quiet for so long. We'll have action later on in the Grand Prix when the pit stops are out of the way and people are about to get on the circuit and the fireworks will explode here in Zandvoort. I've not been to Zandvoort before, I've been close to it, but yeah, I would like to visit them sometimes. It is a good track, in my opinion. It's a good track to watch qualifying, as trying to be fair, neutral as I can, but at the same time it's just so terrible for racing, honestly. Maybe good for league racing, but in terms of F1 itself, it's just barely any chance to overtake. We saw Lando Norris behind Piastri all those laps, just can't get any closer. It's not just track as well, it's the cars these days. The modern F1 cars are too big and it disrupts the aerodynamics. The engine gets hot, you start to feel the imbalance of the car as well when the aerodynamics start to lose air in the middle set to the high-speed corners. The car just slides all over the place. It's the regulations too. I'm glad they changed it because we've had loads of modifications to different racetracks in the past years. Australia been a big one. They got rid of the chicane, didn't they? And they modified turn 6, which is a quick right-hander now. and turn number 11, I think, in the breaker zone. But so many tracks have been modified as a Haas has spun a nice Octavia there who's gone for a spin, and he rejoins back into P11. He just made a pit stop. Still in the Netherlands. Lelystad was last week anyway. Yeah, I know, Steban. I know. Steban, I commentated yesterday in Zandvoort. No, I raced yesterday in Zandvoort, and I also raced as well. I also commentated on Tuesday in Zandvoort for League. So, and last week too in Lelystad, and also 2 weeks ago on a first track in the Netherlands. So I'm so sick of commentating in the Netherlands. Type shit indeed. Hey, look at this. The Aston Martin to the inside of the Haas gets ahead cleanly. And let's see if the Williams does the same thing. Samara is on the old hardcore power tyres there, so he'll be a blockage in the way there. And the guys be looking to try and get past him quickly, making sure they don't lose so much time. Oh, look at this. Here comes Williams, a kick up the inside, side by side, and gets ahead towards Skyflop. And look at that, gets out of the way too. He knows he's slow, so there's no point interfering with this battle. Mr. Superman sleeping next to me somehow. Yep. Oh, Miss Superman. Yeah. Do I explain it or do I not? You know what? For the bounce and for the chat, I will explain it. So basically, when I was in the Netherlands, I was in the camper van and I slept next to two guys. two Dutch guys. Very big, very tall. One of them was very big. The other one was very tall. And I was squashed in the middle. As Yannick is in the pit lane on the mini-club power tyres then. So the first one to pit. 16 laps those mini-club power tyres. I thought he would have gone longer on his stint. But now he's in the pit lane to give him mini-club power tyres. And let's see, he rejoins behind kick, does he? Or side by side of the pit lane, goes through turn 2 and turn 3. Does he get ahead? Contact. And the Williams is off the track there. Rejoins. And he's in the wall. They're both in the wall together. Wow. Disaster strikes at the exit of the pit lane. And it's a Ferrari involved, like Charles Leclerc and Kimi Antonelli. Wow. What a twist and turn in this Grand Prix. Octavia struggles to stay on the track again. But what a change in this race. In a matter of seconds where nothing happens, and all of a sudden, bang, in the wall. Wow, it's interesting how things could change just like that. Yannick, gonna feel sorry for Yannick because he just pitted, then all of a sudden he's in the wall. I think he may have lost an end plate. Kick definitely has, but Yannick has as well in the right front. So what a shame there, as Aaron is in the pit lane. Yannick, who is I think second place or third place in the championship behind his teammates, but now he's got damage. Will he pit? Oh, wow. Oh, God. Was that a strategy call? Or was that a blunder from Aaron in P5? Or P6, P7 now? Is that a strategy blunder? There is no way you're thinking about doing 15 laps to set of soft compound tyres. You can do it, but they'll be dead, trust me. As we see these two go side by... Oh, through goes Florian, side by side, and he takes them both on. And now Fireblaze and Florian are wheel to wheel, but Fireblaze gets back ahead. And that was caused by the RB in the way there. Fireblaze will not be happy with that one, of course. Now they're fighting for P2 in this race. Or net P1, shall I say. Because the top two haven't pitted just yet. 15 laps left to go in this race. So has both Ferraris blown it? They were leading comfortably in first and second place. One of them has contact in towards turn 3 and lost the in-plate. The other one is on the soft compound tyres doing a madness. And here we are down the inside. He's going to get so tight. Oh, contact! And he bodged him out of the way there. Says thank you very much. Oh, more contact as he... Oh, contact again. What the hell is going on? And hopefully there's no more contact as we head to the final corner. Moles goes up into P6 ahead of the Racing Bull. These guys are starting to get aggressive now. It's Moles Macca's going to dive up the inside towards turn 1. He thought about it. He's not going to make it. So, has this race there for Aaron, is it a strategy class? Is it a master class? Sorry, is it a disaster class there from the Ferrari driver? There is no way. I can't even do about 15 laps on the hard compound tyres before they drop to 60%. Never mind the soft compound tyres for that long. I'm not quite sure if this strategy is going to work or not. You can't do a two-stop surely because that'd be way too slower. Way too slower. He's behind Floyd and Fireblaze, who was caught up very quickly, of course, with the peak grip of those soft compound tyres, but I'm not quite sure if this is going to work or not for the Ferrari driver. If it does work, fair dues, but not only going to overtake but pull away, because those tyres will drop off very quickly in the race. So he's got to overtake these two now very quickly, because if he doesn't, if he gets stuck there, the tyres will get more worse. Of course, being in a dirty air, somebody's not going to help each other either. So if he's stuck there in P3 and can't move anywhere and stationary for that long, then it's going to have a massive effect for him towards the end of the race. And he might have to do a two-stop strategy too. What a shame for both Ferrari drivers who were leading this race. Around the outside, is it? No. Oh, almost there on the grass. Aston Martin defending for dear life as we head through the hill towards turn 7, towards Skyflop. The top 3 all is striking distance. Look at the grip as well, but look how much steering being put as well. Look at this, the understeer too. That's not going to help the left front tyre. The left front tyre is going to absolutely take a beating the longer he keeps doing this. The more time, the longer he stays behind. Look at the switchback, look at the exit there. But the Aston Martin is still defending for dear life. The longer the Aston Martin can do this, down he is, and he goes in towards the chicane. It's in a space, almost. It's like a Charles Leclerc, George Russell type shit. Look at this, the bagging wheels till the exit of the chicane going in towards the park. Oh, gets it very messy now with all these guys and getting their elbows out. Here we go with the DRS wide open. The Aston Martin fancy revenge. He's coming back at him, and he has taken him back on for P2. What's the Ferrari doing? He's slowed right down as well. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Surely that was the wrong thing to do. Surely he knows the soft power tyres can't go the distance. He may encounter a few possibilities of a puncture towards the end of the race too, which could ruin his race. He just upshifted twice into towards 57, so yeah, something's going wrong now for the Ferrari driver. Both Ferraris though went from heroes to zeros in the space of what, a couple of laps? I thought, because they've been dominating this season. Podiums every single race. Aaron and Yannick both race winners. But here in Zandvoort, just went terribly wrong for them. Is it self-inflicting? It is for Aaron, but is it for Yannick? I think it's just bad luck for Yannick. Oh well, you can't always be great every single race, can you? But here he is then, the top 3 back together once again as we head towards the final 2 corners we go. The DRS wide open, but I'm sure those soft compound tyres now are starting to feel the heat as we now head up towards the main straight once again with the DRS wide open. Here comes Florian versus Fireblaze as we head down towards turn 1, but he stays behind for the time being, not wants to make any sort of lunge going in towards turn 1. I think that Aaron is a bit in a predicament right now, but he's still got some good pace on the soft compound tyres to keep up with the top 2 and still looking for a move. But how long is it going to be before those soft compound tyres start to just drop off? What's going on there? Is that another double up shift in towards 7? Is he missing the gear? Can't miss the gear surely, but I thought he upshifted to 57 again in the blink of an eye. I think he upshifted quite too early there as well. But Mel's Makis isn't able to get in the DRS range as well of Aaron. Haven't really made any friends here after Ferrari boys tonight with the amount of contact they've been in. There was 11 laps left to go, and we could still see some fireworks later in this race. It could erupt into chaos. And here we go towards the final couple of corners now. Aaron's right at the back of him. Will he send one up the inside in towards turn 1? He tried to do it quite a long time ago, but the Aston Martin's aggressive defence is paying off for him as we head down in towards turn 1. Not able to make a move for the time being, just has to bide his time, but he can't afford to bide his time. He really can't. 10 laps to go on the soft compound tyre. It's going to be brutal towards the end. He's got to make some sort of robust move somewhere if he can. But the soft compound tyre still at this stage, just holding on. I wonder how long it's going to be before those tyres will just start to drop off and therefore have a massive pace loss. This could also, Octavia's crashed. He has crashed, and a safety car. A safety car has been deployed. And this is going to bring Aaron back into the race now. Surely now it's the wise thing to do. Pit onto a new set of soft compound tyres, maybe mediums now. Remember, every single driver in this race does have a new set of soft compound tyres because it made a Q2 and Q3, so let's not forget that. Every driver should have a new set of soft, at least one for sure. I'd be very surprised. Is that worth it though? To go to soft compound tyres now? You may have to pay the price towards the end, but if everybody goes to soft compound tyres, then it just levels the playing field out really. But let's see if anybody decides to go to soft compound tyres. Maybe Aaron might not have a set of softs at his disposal to use. But remember, he did retire early Q1 and Q2 because he was safe. So he may have another set of soft compound tyres in his disposal to use to take towards the Grand Prix. Oh, Aaron! How the hell did he get a 3-second penalty? That's very surprised indeed. It goes from bad to worse as Aaron is on the mini compound tyres now, so he decides not to go soft. Is that an old set of mediums? It's a new set of mediums. I'm not quite sure why I thought they were old. It looked to me that they weren't shiny, as Case has stayed out, so throwing a spanner in the works there throwing a cat amongst the pigeons for the rest of the drivers to overtake. We know how hectic it can get towards the end of the race, but the safety car comes out and it really galvanises and changes the trajectory of this race. The pendulum swung around once again, but in whose favour? Do you know what? I think that's Fireblaze and Florian. Right, so they've chosen the harder strategy, which means they get 2 sets of hard compound tyres, so they don't have an extra set of mediums in their disposal to use, and they don't want to use the softs either because they don't believe that soft compound tyres can make the distance and go towards the end. So, has the safety car? Don't think the safety car's played into their hands in this race for them. Sorry. The pendulum once again swings around, and that's the beauty of racing. Sometimes it goes in one driver's way, then swings back into another. That's the advantages, disadvantages. That's the beauty of racing, the unpredictability sometimes in league racing. You never know what's around the corner, and you never know if it might favour you or not, or put you at a massive disadvantage. It's not a big disadvantage, of course, but of course, Aaron has a new set of mediums, but he does have a 3-second penalty. Let's not forget, he does have a penalty, which is just on his shoulders, so that'll bear a weight on him for him. Oh, the Aston Martin there, or should I say the Kick Sauber, or the Aston Martin almost being hit by the Ferrari driver behind. The problem too, we've seen around this circuit, is that the right front tyre just doesn't want to heat up at all. It takes about 5-6 laps for the hard compound tyres to just get into the working operating window. I'll take a short break because being a solo commentator does take its toll sometimes. So I'll be back with you. I'm saving my voice right now, and I'll be back with you very shortly. Hope you enjoyed what you've seen so far in this race. Mark says soft compound tyres, and he is on the soft compound tyres, so that's why he's saying that. But let's see then. We've got a mixture of tyre sets so far on the circuit, a massive wide variety, which is definitely going to spice up the end of this Grand Prix to see which tyre compound is the best and who comes out on top and who falls down. The safety car is in at the end of this lap, so stay tuned. Things could get very hectic in the last couple of laps of this race as we make our way now towards the final 2 corners. Oh, that's Williams almost in the grass and the banking as they all bunch up and compact. We go racing once again, and the Aston Martin gets a blistering restart side by side with Fireblaze as we head down into towards turn 1, but backs off. Doesn't go for the move. I think he's learned his lessons in the past couple of laps when he tried to move on the inside, but it seems the person on the outside gets a much better launch. Mark is in the grass there too. Lost traction or made contact with somebody as we foul through turn 3, and he was the driver that said, oh, look at this, the Haas and the Ferrari getting too close for comfort indeed. And once again, the Ferrari's lost his end plate. But here comes Aaron. He's almost alongside the Aston Martin going through turn 7 in Sky from Daniel. And here we go then, the side-by-side. And here comes Aaron down the inside into towards turn 7. He takes away P3. Next target is Fireplace. Quick on those mini compound tyres, but does have a 3-second time penalty, which will definitely have a hindrance on his race. And he crossed the finish line to serve that penalty. Now, next target is Fireplace. How quickly can dispatch him whilst his hard compound tyres, or maybe not up to the working temperature range. As we foul through the final couple of corners we go. Onto lap 30, DRS enabled on the next lap as the Racing Bull has retired. Please, no safety car! Godverdomme. Safety car has came out once again. And I want to go to the end of this Grand Prix. Look at this, in the pit lane. That's a very late call for Fireplace. Oh, the Aston Martin! What a move! Oh, never mind. Gets a 10-second time penalty for that. So, yeah. It could have been one of the best moments of the year. Now we've got another mix-up in the field here. What could happen in this race? We could have different people in different places, and the outcome can completely change as well. I have no idea who's going to win this Grand Prix. Second safety cars came out once again in the space of a few laps, thanks to the Racing Bull, who has crashed in a chicane. But let's find out what's going to happen now. Mark says his tyres on 6%. Well, you've still got 6 laps to go, mate, so it could be 6 times 6, what's that, 42? What, 50% later on in the race, after the race? Florian is on medium compound tyres. Did he just pit? He did, because he got a 10-second time penalty. So how on earth, oh my goodness me, on an old set of medium compound tyres? Do you know what? I think he'll pit this lap, service 10 seconds, and go on a soft compound tyre. Sure, that's the case now for him. He's going to be absolutely swamped. So Fireblaze, well, Florian and Aaron, who were the early leaders of this Grand Prix, have got penalties, and they could not win. They may not win towards the end, especially Florian in P6. Panda's there in P4. Panda's been very quiet in this race, other than his misdemeanor with hit wall in towards turn 7. I think Florian will pit this lap. Will he? Yes, he will. So we will go in the pit lane on this lap to service 10 seconds and put on a new set of compound tyres. Look how battered those mini compound tyres are. They're done. So Florian will stay stationary for 10 seconds. No one's allowed to touch the car. And then the soft compound tyres will be fitted to his car. And we'll see how much progress he can make to the field in these last 4 laps of this race. How much can he recover in this race? So Kick's in P3. Kick has also got a penalty there as well in the Williams. 3 seconds added to his time. And yeah, Miles Marquez in P7 has been costed a lot as well, because he had to do a double stack behind his teammates and lost a lot of places. In fact, he pitted twice, didn't he? Yeah, he pitted once again, so he hasn't had to do a double stack. Maybe he did in the other safety car stint, but this one, he decided to pit and go into soft compound tyres. Wow, we're about to find out what's going to happen towards the end of the race. It could be real chaotic as well. This is a sprint all the way to the end of the Dutch GP here. All the Dutchies will be optimistic, be audacious. There'll be contact be made between all these guys. Safety car is in at the end of this lap. Something will go down here tonight, here in Zandvoort. Who will win this Dutch GP? Is it Kays? Could Kays win? After staying out there on mini compound tyres, he could do, you know, but he's done a very good job at orientating the lead since the safety car restart. I thought to get swamped, but not to be. But let's see what happens in these last 5 laps. The safety car is coming towards the pit lane. And once in the pit lane, you can go whenever you want to. 2017 Baku, and Lewis Hamilton almost called the safety car. And he was super close as well. I don't think nobody in F1 on a safety car restarts ever overtook the safety car before the safety car's in the pit lane. Here we go then. The safety car restarts well and truly underway for the 3rd time. And it's Kays who leads them going down in towards turn 1. as we've got a few people ducking and diving out the slipstream as we head down towards the first corner, towards the breaker zone. Fireblaze contact with Aston Martin, and Fireblaze goes around the outside and takes away P5. What a move there. A bit robust, a bit chaotic, and contact was made between those two. And Aaron, is he about to make a move on Kays? He was thinking about it, but he's a bit too far back. Of course, single file through this particular part of the track, and he might go up the inside. Whoa, let's see if he does it or not. And he goes up into first place. What a move, but he's not done just yet because Kays is still sticking around the outside there, but surely he runs out of grip, and he does. Aaron takes the lead of this race once again, but he does have to pull a 3-second gap. Here goes Panda alongside the Williams and Kick there. Gives him a bit of a look tap, but we go wheel to wheel now between the Alpine and the Williams going in towards the chicane. Panda outbreaks him. Does he go off the track? No, he doesn't. Keeps it on the track. And what a move there as well. Great move from Panda, and Kick is all over the place. Fireblaze goes up into P4. His team in Melnus now, or Mel's goes up into P5. And Kick has been swamped by the guys behind, completely overwhelmed. Here comes Unique in the other Ferrari looking for a comeback drive 2 after front wing damage with Kick early on in the Grand Prix as we go down in towards turn 1. The Alpine and Ferrari go side by side, coming towards the first corner. They all continue up. Look at the Alpine around the outside too. Oh, it goes off the circuit. Runs out of room. That's Daniel trying to go around the outside there, but runs completely the room. Didn't Sergio Perez do that against somebody a couple of years ago? Somebody went off the track in towards turn 1. I'm not quite sure who it was. It could have been Perez or Lando Norris who tried to go on the outside there. There's a distant memory of somebody trying to do that in towards turn 1 and got pushed out wide. Let's see if Panda can make an overtake now. He needs to get past Kays immediately because Aaron does have a 3-second attack. Can Panda win this Grand Prix? Fireblaze is right at the back of him on a brand new set of soft compound tyres that's done only 3 laps. 2 of them behind the safety car, so they're relatively brand new. As we head down towards the chicane we go. Kays is defending on the inside. Panda looking to do a switch back there. Kays placing his car in the middle of the road, not allowing the Alpine driver to go through. But we make our way now towards the final corner. Sure that his task of defending will be even more difficult now with the powers of DRS from the guys behind. Here goes Panda now in the slipstream, in the DRS, pulls the right side and says, thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much, mate. I'll take away P2. Here comes Fireblaze on the inside, in towards the first corner. He's looking to get through immediately. He's wheel to wheel now as we bang bodywork from bodywork as he goes up the inside into towards turn 2 and makes the move stick. That's a very aggressive lunge there, but makes it work. And now he's up into P2K. He's dropping back like a stone on those old mini compound tyres. There is 3 laps left to go in the race. Who is going to win the Grand Prix? Aaron? Don't think so. Panda or Fireblaze? Can Fireblaze get his first win of the season? Can Panda get his first win of the season? Aaron won't because he does. Well, Aaron's already won, but Aaron won't win this race because he does have a 3-second penalty unless he can do something special in the last 3 laps of this race. Be hoping those soft compound tyres will just fall off. The pendulum has pretty much swung back in towards his favour since that first safety car. Yannick, unfortunately, couldn't say the same thing to him in P12. He's dropped back into P12 in last place. His race went bad to worse when he made contact with Kick in towards the third corner, towards the banked corner. And here comes Fireblaze. Around the bank and he goes with the DRS wide open. Should be a simple pass against the Alpine. And he muscles his way up into P2. Now all he needs to do to get his first win of the season is to just stay within 3 seconds. I know the Dutchy would love to overtake him on the track, but does he have the pace? Does he have the grip of the soft compound tyres? Can he catch up towards him? Here comes Marinus now up the inside towards turn 3, also benefiting on the soft compound tyres. You know what, Marinus or Mels could still find himself on the podium. Let's not forget, the gap to lead is about 2.6, so he needs to try and get a few more tenths if he wants to win this Grand Prix to get a podium, or overtake Panda to secure himself a podium on those older soft compound tyres. So, oh, Aston goes off in the background, and Mark, is it? It was Mark who went off the track there. It's such a common place to do so, unfortunately. A very common place to do so. Sometimes you get dragged off the curb there, get stuck. It's like Saudi Arabia, in between turn 9 and 10, towards the double right-hander. Fireblaze is almost in DRS range of Aaron as we now make our way towards the final couple of corners. It is the last lap of the Dutch GP. Erupted into chaos. But who is it going to be? Fireblaze sets the fast lap of the race as we head down towards turn 1. I don't think Fireblaze has any chance to take the win away on track, but he does in terms of having no penalties. But every single driver wants to win on track for pride, for satisfaction, for joy, hard work and relief. But it's going to be quite difficult to try and overtake him. If he wants to do that, he needs a really good exit out of turn 30 to 40. First of all, get closer and closer if he can. Maybe these soft compound tyres might get him close enough. But it's all about the battery too. How much battery has he saved up? Not a lot. Neither has the Ferrari driver either. As we make our way now towards turn 10, Miles Marquez will get a podium in P4, despite all of his drama early in the race too. But look at this fire blaze on the inside, in towards the chicane. There's contact between the Ferrari and the Mercedes too. But Fireblaze tries to stick on the outside, but can't get the exit he needs. But it all depends on the final couple of corners on this racetrack. Fireblaze can't get the exit he needs, and he won't. Will he outdrag him towards the line? Let's find out right now. With the DRS wide open, can Fireblaze get him? He does! Fireblaze wins the Dutch GP just though on the track, but beats up penalties as well. Fireblaze wins the Dutch GP after missing out yesterday. He finished in P2, second best yesterday in the league, and now he wins the race for the first time this season. What a race. Just pipped on the line. What a race, that was amazing. Goed gedaan from Fireblaze there, from the Dutchie. Panda P2, Miles Marquez in P3 in the Williams, and K's from P10 to P4, and Panda P40 to P2. Remember, he was outside the DRS range a lot in the first stint, just dropped away from that train early doors in the race, but still capitalised and gained. Immaculate stuff there for Fireblaze, well deserved, and a few other people had their blunders, missed chances, or missed opportunities. But in the end, Fireblaze was the one that prevailed and took the opportunities with his two hands. Are you going to join the party, Fireblaze, or what? Well, since Fireblaze doesn't want to join the party, then I'm going to end the stream. So, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. He's here. I was about to end the stream.
Sorry, I was not informed. I literally asked in the party, do I have to join to do an interview, and I did not get a response from it.
Well, Fireblaze, I'm pretty sure now you're familiar with podium interviews. Me and you, I've spoke to each other plenty of times in the podium interviews, and once again, I get the pleasure to speak to you, Fireblaze, my favourite Dutchman out of everybody. Fireblaze, goed gedaan vandaag. You did an amazing job today of getting the win. I bet it was totally unexpected as well, especially with the safety cars. At what moment in the race did you think that the victory was on?
Honestly, from the start, to be fair, I mean, I was already with the leaders. In the first stint, we were all pretty much on the mediums, and the Ferraris were on the hards. So yeah, in my opinion, the mediums in the second stint were quite bad. But then eventually, I also saw one of them switch to the softs, which kind of guaranteed it a bit more. But then there was a safety car, which kind of threw it into a bit more doubt, I guess. And yeah, the second safety car as well, extremely close together. But yeah, I guess just from the start, mate. But then after that, it was just a bit mumbo jumbo. Didn't really know what was going on some of the time. Even when I was pitting for the second safety car, to be fair, I was scrambling to change my tires.
And Florian overtook you in the pit lane. I bet you must have been so frustrated. And it was like, then you started laughing because he had a 10-second time penalty, so he got that penalty. I bet you must have been absolutely relieved for that one.
Well, yeah, I got mad at first because I was like, oh no, why, what, how? And then I saw the penalty and I was like, oh, never mind, I guess, he'll probably pit. But yeah, like I said, I was scrambling to change tires and I did not want to box onto my used mediums.
Yeah, that's true as
That
well.
would not have been good.
I think Florian did as well. He went on the mini compound tyres, and he had to go for another set of softs. But I think it worked out for him because he got rid of his penalty in the end as well. So yeah. But well done today, mate. As well. I know it's my first race here, but you're doing very well, mate. I think you saw me commentate. I think, I need to win now.
Pretty much, yeah. I've been doing my best in other leagues as well, you know.
Well, I hope you win the Wednesday one. That's what I'm hoping for. Don't tell anybody, but yeah, well done today, mate. And how does it help you as well for the championship in the next upcoming races?
Well, in this league, I'm just a reserve, so I don't even know, to be fair. I'm just on and off a bit, you know. But yeah, I think it's primarily Williams against Ferrari here.
Always is, apparently.
Yeah, leagues do seem to have a knack for it.
Yeah, well done today, mate. You did an excellent job, and congratulations on the win, and good impression as well for me. But that's it then for the Dutch GP. I'm so sick of commentating in the Netherlands and around the Netherlands too. I've been doing it for the past God knows how many weeks. But hopefully it's the final time for a while I'll be commentating in the Netherlands, and I'll see you all next week Thursday at 6:30 UK time, 7:30 Dutch time for the next race. And to be honest with you, I forgot what it is, and I can't find the Discord server either because it disappeared. So
DSR.
Oh yeah, DSR, that's the one. And the next race of the season is Monza. Yeah, I don't know why I said it weird. It is Monza, and I'll see you all next week. Goodbye for now. I just before we go, I just saw a picture with Kevin Zumberg, Steiny, and Milan Lager. What a photo! If you look at the Tier 1 chat, but I'll see you all later.
Tier 1 chat?